I think everybody did.
Okay.
I'm back.
Yeah. Jodie, we're recording, so we'll just continue on from where you were, and we'll post 2 recordings of this, and that's no problem. So you were doing the same thing the 3 days before in preparation and going through the same routine. What about nerves? Do you get nervous?
Oh yeah.
Going to the race site, do you get nervous setting up transition? Do you get nervous on the starting line? What do you do about that?
Yeah, I think if you don't get nervous, I think that's more unusual. I think if you're getting nervous, it just means you care about what you're about to do. You've trained for it. You've put all this effort in. So of course I'm nervous. I want to perform well. I don't want any mechanical, so I'm gonna get nervous. But I think it's just you go and you are in this headspace of, setting up transition. And I think that I really get nervous, or I used to get more nervous when I got called onto the pontoon and you hear that bloody Pirates of the Caribbean heartbeat. And it's like, doo-doo-doo. I'm like, oh my God, if I wasn't nervous, I am now. But then I just know that as soon as I start the race, the nerves go. And you're just in it and you're just doing it. And it's just, you're doing what you've practiced daily. But yeah, you get I get nervous before every race, and that I get nervous before. I also get nervous before some key training sessions because I want to perform well in them. It's like, if coaches set me a bike session that I know is going to be my upper limit, it's going to be hard to reach. The wattage is going to be hard to reach, or even the 500-meter time trial, like, you get that little bit of nerves because you want to do well, and that just means you care. I've
had a lot of pushback as a coach with the time trial or going out and doing FTP tests on a regular basis. You're a professional athlete. You've been the top, is it a good thing to do, or should we shy away from it? Or what you just said, is it a great opportunity to practice getting into that race mode and deal with those emotions?
I think it's definitely a good thing. As one side of it, as an athlete, do I like those kind of nerves that I get? No. Do I like being nervous like that before some of these sessions? No, because you're nervous, your stomach's going, oh God, am I going to be able to do this? But then, you know what, even if you don't reach, what you wanted to do in those sessions or something, you've put the effort in, and your body going through, 1, the nerves, and 2, that training. Well, it's not a bad thing of the training that you've just done. Like, your body's still worked hard. So you're gonna get the benefits from that. Yeah, okay, you might not have made a time, or you might not have hit watts that you wanted to. Your body doesn't know that. Your body doesn't know that you were 10 watts off, or you were 20 seconds off in the 500. Your body just knows that you've made your heartbeat and you've pushed it hard. Yeah, it's nervous, and yeah, it's uncomfortable. But
I think that's one of the coolest things that I've just heard. And if I could decipher it down, you just said that there's no such thing as failing a test or a, sort of a marker thing. There's no failure to that.
Your body doesn't know that. If you cut off your brain, cut off your head, your body doesn't know that it's 10 seconds off, it's 10 watts off. You have still done the work. And it might be that you've had a couple of nights bad sleep. It might be that, there's so many things that come into this equation, but you've still worked hard. Ultimately, you will get the gains from it.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Yeah, because I think sometimes a lot of athletes know that, and we'll use the 500 since that's something that we're doing this year and that you're participating in each month. I set this great time, I'm nervous, or I don't want to not meet that time. And that seems like a failure, because the realization that our growth as an athlete isn't on a constant up. If it was, at one point you'd be doing a 1 second 500, because we run out of space for improvement. But there's points where we go up, and there's points where we've been doing a ton of hard training, and we have the opportunity to go out and do some kind of test or a race, and we're not rested, or it's not our A race. But it's a great opportunity to go through these motions with the nerves and take our body through that high intensity session.
Yeah, like the 2 500s that I've done, I think I got exactly the same time, like literally exactly the same time. Like, do I think that that's a failure that I got exactly the same time? No, because I actually felt worse in the second one and still got the same time. So I'll take that. Like, would I have liked to have gone faster? Of course I would have. Like, if you always want to do better than what you did, even if I'd gone faster, do I want to go faster? Yes, that's everybody being competitive with themselves. But yeah, it's not sometimes it's not a nice thing to go through time trials, because it's a comparison. And you do need to know where you are at, like, in some ways. But I don't, like, the positives definitely outweigh that kind of, that little bit of negative in your head that, that always happens.
And so to take it to a little harder mental side, harder part to deal with, the negatives. Right now you are coming back and rehabbing and getting back to running after an unfortunate bike crash that happened over the winter. That's hard, so we'll sort of transfer here from the mindset of like, oh, we're testing and we're always getting better. Well, then you take huge steps backwards because of an injury, an illness, a change of life. You might move, you might, have different priorities in life, and now you're coming back. So those test numbers might not be near what this greatness was the last time you did it prior to an injury like you are now. So let's transfer over to that. Jodie, you had an injury, and I say had because Jodie's running again. I'm really excited for it. So we're putting that in the past. What helped you stay focused? And I don't know if positive, and maybe talk about it, but I'm sure there were negatives, and you had a hard time. So take us through injury, and we'll just use that as an overarching thing for illness, injury, changes in life, and everything. What's something that you've gone through lately?
Oh, like, definitely, like, you try and stay positive throughout this, but oh my God, like, I've gone through so many real negative parts of this. Like, for example, like, I had this injury 27th of December, and it was a bone bruise. So I've had fractures that, they go 8 to 12 weeks, and, a fracture, you have a certain calcification, and how it's going to plan out roughly. But with this, it's kind of like, you just have to wait, and you just have to see. And it's just, I'm a planner. I like to plan. If I've been told, okay, I've got 6 weeks where I'm not allowed to run, okay, I want to run after 6 weeks, because that's where I've set this goal that I can run after 6 weeks, and mentally I can get through that I can put priorities into bike and swim and kind of distract myself with those, and then, set the goal. And this has been a real challenging phase, as in, like, well, this has actually taken longer than a fracture to allow me to start running. And I've gone through negative things, and I'm still good, and I will do, like, it'll change. Like, when I've been here, like, the Slack group has been amazing, because it's such a group of positive people that, like, you guys have kind of helped me stay positive in that. And of course, when I've come back and I've been like, okay, and things that have gone through my head is that I just don't know if my body will allow me to do this anymore. Like, I've gone from being one of the best in the world short course to now going, I just don't know if my body's going to allow me to run. And these things creep in, but ultimately I love what I do, and like that overtakes then the negative thoughts of, you know, saying to myself that I don't know if I can do this, and that overtakes me going, well, no, I'm going to give this a damn good shot at coming back. And now that I've started to run again, that mindset will change, and I'll, you know, I was running this morning and I was like, my God, I feel so bad running. I feel terrible. I'm running so slow. Like, this is horrendous. But then I have to quickly think, I've just spent 12 weeks not able to run. Like, correct yourself and go, I don't care that I feel bad running. I'm running. Like, so it is a lot of self-talk. It's a lot of like, concentrate on what you can do and be grateful of what you are doing, because there may be a time in, you know, near however many years that I can't do this anymore, and you know, I do have to retire. At the minute I don't. At the minute I'm not. So I need to be grateful of what I'm doing right now and the position that I'm in right now.
Yeah. Jodie has a fantastic support group. And something that I want you to sort of talk about, ironically, is how much you, what?
I'm just moving to get a charger, but I am here.
How much you have talked to people through this journey that you have, you know, and what kind of things, who is your support group along this way, you know, and I sort of want you to emphasize that it wasn't just you keeping all of this inside, you know, but what has helped you during a very challenging time and a very frustrating time. And, you know, you mentioned the slappers, but just a rough expansion on that. When you're having a hard time, don't keep it inside, right? You know, what have you done?
So I think, you know, I have got to be, and it's not just because she's right in front of me asking these questions. She has been super positive and helpful. And, you know, I first met Sarah as I raced against her, and she absolutely handed my backside to me on a long course race, or as a non-draft race. So, but then she's become a friend. So, you know, I have relied on her and, you know, friends here. But then back home, I've got, sorry, I've got
Jodie's power is dying.
Sorry, I had to put my charger in. I'm back. I had to, so when I've been here, like, you know, I've been really lucky that I've had a friend, Sarah, that's like just being a positive person around. And but then back home, like you know, I've got a physio that I call and have conversations with, and you know, a nutritionist that I'm working with, and the biggest, I suppose, they're the people that kind of help me to be able to concentrate on what I can concentrate on. So that's like a bit of a professional thing that I rely on. But I definitely wouldn't be able to do it without my mom. Like, and I'm 34, like, and me saying that may seem a bit silly, but I have a really close relationship with my mom. And like, me just being able to call her and go, I still am not able to run. Like, this is really frustrating. Like, and, you know, there's been moments where I've cried and been like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And I feel myself getting emotional about it because I love the sport. I love what I do. And, you know, triathlon has given me these great memories and great experiences, but it's hard. It's really hard when your body doesn't cooperate and you can't do what you want to do in the sport. And, you know, it has been a really challenging few years for me to kind of get through. It's been a really hard time. It's a hard sport to do, but the positives still outweigh. It's a roller coaster ride. It's a roller coaster ride that we're all on, and like everybody experiences this, and it's at whatever level you are at. You could be, you know, trying to make just to complete your first triathlon, you know, and competing at the highest level. Like everybody will go through these ups and downs of in training, in competition. But you have to have that support network behind you that can help you get through the bad times, but also be there to enjoy the amazing times that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, yeah, that was very, you know, raw and honest and everything. And, you know, I've been watching Jodie through this tough time, and she has relied on that, you know, support group and through any hard times in her life. And this is just silly sport, you know, but for Jodie, it's her lifestyle. But for a lot of us, it's just, you know, we're in this sport because it's supposed to be enhancing our lives. We're supposed to be getting, you know, enjoyment out of it. And we're supposed to be getting healthy out of it. And if we hit these points where it's become something that is dragging us down, or we're not communicating with people because we're getting into a negative headspace about things, then sport is not enhancing your life. And that's something that I want, you know, everyone to have a takeaway from, that we're in this not to make money, but to be better because of it. And to notice these things and open up to a friend, a family, a loved one, your coach, your, you know, teammate in the pool, and sort of try to find your way back, or sort of have a reassessment about, you know, how serious you're taking it, or what your expectations are, or what happened to the enjoyment of the journey along the way and everything. And I love that Jodie has made, you know, Florida part of her journey, and Claremont and the Slappers and everything. Hold on. Did we lose you, Jodie? Okay. I think Jodie's battery might have died. She should click in here in a little bit, but she can hear me talking. So if you can't get it, just come in here. And she's made, you know, the Slappers part of her journey, and the fun part, and the meeting people and the communicating with people. And I know Sue Reynolds' video is next to me up here on my screen. So Sue and Jodie have had chats along the way and have taken out and everything. So
Sorry guys, I apologize.
So how do I go? I think we're recording Fonda's. So I need to go to, how do I go to me? Gallery. Well, there we are. So we can see Jodie. So we answered some questions that were sent in, and we appreciate everybody for sending in the questions. Anything else you want to say to the group before we wrap up recording number 2? Yeah, anything else?
I suppose I just want to say thank you, really, for everybody in the team just being so welcoming and so lovely. Such a lovely team, and yeah, I think you're all fantastic. And
look at all of them.
I think everybody. I always say to Sarah, I was like, "Do you see what like they've done today, or what anybody's done today, or and." Without like not putting you over, but Sue, I saw you in the gym. I was like, I saw Sue in the gym today, or like, I saw someone out on the bike today, and it's just like, I think you're all so amazing. And just thank you for bringing me into the team.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I love it, because then I don't have to be out there training hard and keeping up with everyone. I just sent Jodie out there to do the hard work. And Timothy says thank you, and Amanda's clapping. Before we end, Amanda, anything that we didn't get in here? Amanda's giving us the thumbs up. So I appreciate everyone for logging in, and a huge round of applause to Jodie for really giving us some insight to that journey that she's been through.
Thank you.
And what we can take on. All right, you guys, positive mindsets, and we'll see you at practice. Bye, Slappers.